Hi, Algebra 1. We're going to go over page 105, and I hope I assigned you guys one. I thought I was 109. If I ever assigned you more, that's okay. We will have a test on Thursday this week. There is going to be a sheet of white paper up on my desk that you can collect later today, and you're allowed to write anything down you want on it you want. If you need extra time on the test, I will collect your test and that sheet of paper. I'll staple them together. Um, but let's see what kind of questions you might have. Problem number 1, we have the square root of 32, so we're just breaking this down. So we know that 32 is the same thing as 16 times 2. Square root of 16 is 4, so I wind up with 4 square root 2. Problem number 2, square root 225. That's one of the perfect squares. If you plug that into a calculator, it's going to give you an answer of just 25, so that's all the answer is. Problem number 3, square root 27. So I'm going to break this down to 9 times 3. Square root of 9 is 3, so I wind up with 3 square root 3. All right, for the rest of these, we're going to use the quadratic formula, which is this. And this is definitely something I would suggest that you write down on your sheet of paper. So if we take a look at number 4, we have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. This is my a value. This is my b value. This is my c value. So then plug it in. I have x equals negative plus or minus something squared minus 4 times something something, all divided by 2 times something. So my a value is 2. My b value is 5. My c value is 3. So I'm going to go negative 5 squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. And then just do the math to break it down. So 5 squared is 25. Negative 4 times 2 is 8. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. Divided by 4. So square root of 1 is just 1. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 over 4 is equal to negative 1. And then negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6, which is over 4. Reduce the fraction and get negative 3 over 2. There's my 2 answers. Problem number 5, x squared plus 2x minus 13 is equal to 0. So my a value is 1. My b value is 2, and my c value is the negative 13. So quadratic formula. So x equals negative blank plus or minus something squared minus 4 blank blank all over 2 blank. So let's plug what we know in. My b value is 2. My a value is 1. My c value is negative 13. All divided by 2 times 1. Let's clean it up. 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative times negative is positive. 4 times 13 is what? 4 times 12, 52. All over 2. X equals negative 2 plus or minus root 56 over 2. Let's take a look at root 56, see if we can break that down. So is it 4 times 14? Which means that's going to be 2 root 14. The answer is yes. So I'm going to replace 2 root 14 with the root where root 56 is at. Now we're going to take a look. Are all the numbers outside the radical divisible by 2? The answer is yes. So my answer is x equals negative 1 plus or minus square root 14. There's my answer. Don't go any further than that. Don't use your calculator to do the square root of 14. It won't break down to anything nice. Number 6, x squared plus 6x minus 5 is equal to 0. My a value is 1, my b value is 6, and my c value is negative 5. I know that x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So let's plug our values in. So x equals negative 6, negative b, plus or minus 6 squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Now let's clean it up. 6 squared is 36. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 5 is positive 20. Didn't we just break this one down? Didn't we just do root 56 back here? Root 56, yeah, it comes out to 2 root 14. So because we already did it, we know that this is 2 root 14, so I'm going to get negative 6 plus or minus 2 root 14 over 2. And start reducing. Everything outside is divisible by 2. So my answer comes out to x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root 14. Huh, that's a very close answer, isn't it? Number 7, x squared minus 2x plus 7 equals 0. My a value is 1, my b value is negative 2, and my c value is 7. And remember your equation, x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So x equals, now in this case I'm plugging negative 2, so I get negative 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times 7, all divided by 2 times 1. So negative 2 is 2 plus or minus negative 2 squared. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. That's negative 24. Erase that. Okay, so at this point, because I have a negative underneath the square root sign and I can't get rid of it, the answer is no real solution. That only takes place when you've done all of the math for underneath the radical. It becomes a negative number, you write no real solution. Number 8, x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. So my a value is 1, my b value is negative 3, and my c value is 1. Remember, x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. So x equals, I have a negative 3 I'm plugging in, so I get negative 3 plus or minus the square root of negative 3 squared minus 4. A is 1. C is also 1. All divided by 2 times a, which is 1. So negative 3 is positive 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. All over 2 times 1, which is 2. X equals 3 plus or minus square root 5 over 2. And there's your answer. You can't reduce that at all. Number 9, we get 3x squared minus 11x minus 2 equals 0. My a value is 3, my b value is negative 11, my c value is negative 2. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root, b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So let's plug it in. I get negative 11 plus or minus negative 11 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 2, all divided by 2 times 3. Let's do the math. Negative 11 is 11 plus or minus negative 11 squared. Negative 11 times negative 11 is 121. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. Negative 12 times negative 2 is positive 24, all over 6. So let's get x equals 11 plus or minus the square root of 121 plus 24, I believe that is 145 over 6. Let's see if 145 breaks down. Let's see, 3 times, use a calculator on this. Nope, 3 doesn't work. 145 divided by 5, oops, it's 29. So this breaks down to 5 and 29. Those aren't going to work, you know? Our answer won't reduce. This is our answer. Negative or 11 plus or minus square root 145 over 6. Just leave it just like that. Pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I would like us to work on page 107, 1 through 9. And what I'll do is I'm going to create another video that will help you along this. But the main thing on page 107 is if you take a look at, say, number 9, you get 5x minus 8 equals 2x squared. You have to move this over. So subtract 2x squared. That's a positive 5x. And that's a negative 8. So make sure it's equal to 0. So your a value is negative 2. Your b value is 5. Your c value is negative 8. And then plug those into your quadratic formula from there. So you got to make sure they're equal to 0 first. So again, come get a sheet of white paper on the corner of my desk. You can write anything down on it you would like to for this quiz. Or this test on Tuesday. Definitely go through this chapter. Take a look at the chapter that we have done. So pretty much anything that is between page 69 all the way through page 107, you know, take a look at it. Write down anything from the notes. Look at your notes. Write down on that white sheet of paper on the front and the back anything that you'd like to write down for this test, okay? Again, I'll make another video, or actually I'll just continue this video. So problem number 1 we're on page 107, okay? So I get x squared plus 6x minus 3 equals 0. I have a 1 right here. I have an a, b, and a c. So we know that x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. X equals negative 6 plus or minus 6 squared is 36. Negative 4 times 1, negative 4 times 3, positive 12 over 2. X equals negative 6 plus or minus square root 48 over 2. We worked with square root 48. Remember, for square root 48, you might want to write this one down as 16 times 3, which gives you 4 right 3, because you don't want to get puzzled on that. Replace that here. So I'm going to get x equals negative 6 plus or minus 4 root 3 over 2. And then take a look what we can reduce. 2 goes into itself once, goes into 4 twice, goes into 6 3 times. So my answer is x equals negative 3 plus or minus 2 root 3. There it is. Number 2, we have 2x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0. Remember, x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Your a value is 2, your b value is negative 4, and your c value is 1. So you get x equals negative b plus or minus square root, whatever the b is, squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Negative 4 is 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared is 16. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times 1 is negative 8 over 4. X equals 4 plus or minus square root 8 over 4. Square root 8 is going to break down, square root 8 breaks down to 4 times 2 because that's going to come 2 root 2. You're going to replace 2 root 2 with 8. And then go ahead and reduce. 2 goes in there twice, goes in there once, goes in there twice. So my answer is 2 plus or minus root 2 over 2. You can't reduce anything else. That's done. Number 3, 2x squared plus 3x minus 20 equals 0. So my a value is 2, my b value is 3, my c value is negative 20. Remember, x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So I'm going to get x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root 3 squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2 times 2. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 20 is positive 169, or positive 160 over 4. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root 169 over 4. What'd you get when you did square root 169 on a calculator? Did you get 13? Cool. So you get negative 3 plus 13 is 10. So that comes out to 10 over 4. So x equals, reduce that, that's 5 over 2. There's one answer. Negative 3 minus 13 is negative 16 over 4, which just comes out to negative 4 for an answer. There's your 2 answers. Number 4, we have x squared minus 8 equals 0. This one, where is that x value? Okay, if it's not there, so my a value is 1, my b value is not there, so it has to be 0, and my c value is negative 8. So yeah, we can plug these in. X equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So x equals negative 0, which is just going to be 0, plus or minus 0 squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. So 0 plus or minus 0 squared 0, negative 4 times 1, negative 4 times 8, positive 32 over 2. So x equals 0 plus or minus square root 32 over 2. Root 32 breaks down to 16 times 2, which is 4 root 2. So I get x equals 0 plus or minus 4 root 2 all over 2. And there's my answer. You can't reduce it. It's done. You're just done. Just leave that. You're good. Number 5, we have x squared minus 3x equals 0. So I'm missing my c value. I don't know what it is. If it's not there, it's got to be 0. So my a value is 1. My b value is negative 3. My c value has to equal 0. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus square root negative 3 squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Clean it up. Negative 3 is positive 3, plus or minus 9. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 0 is 0. So 9 minus 0 is just 9 still. So square root of 9 is 3. And then do the math. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 over 2 is equal to 3. So there's one answer. Negative 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 divided by 2 is 0. So there's my 2 answers, 3 and 0. Number 6, we have 2x squared minus 3x equals 5. It's not equal to 0, so what I need to do is I need to bring that 5 over by subtracting it. My a value is 2, my b value is negative 3, my c value is negative 5. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So x equals negative 3 plus or minus negative 3 squared minus 4ac, squeeze in there, all divided by 2a. Clean it up. Negative 3 is 3, plus or minus negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 4, or negative 8 times negative 5 is positive 40. Well, this one's going to work out nicely. X equals 3 plus or minus square root 49 over 4. What's the square root of 49? Yeah, it's 7. So x equals 3 plus or minus 7 over 4. Do the math. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 over 4 reduces to 5 over 2. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Negative 4 over 4 is negative 1. There's my answers. Number 7, I get x squared minus 4x equals 2. You want to bring this 2 over this way, so I'll subtract it. So there's a 1 out front, so a is 1, b is negative 4, c is negative 2. So x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. So x equals 4 plus or minus negative 4 squared is 16. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is positive 24, or excuse me, positive 8, all over 2. So then I get x equals 4 plus or minus square root 24 all over 2. Let's break square root 24 down to 4 times 6, which is 2 root 6. And plug that in for the x, or root 24. 2 root 6 over 2. And reduce. So your answer is 2 plus or minus square root 6. I think I've done enough of these to help you. Again, remember, you get to use that sheet of paper you've gotten from my desk. You can write anything from the entire chapter on your paper, and you can use it on the test. If you need more time during the day of the test, which is Thursday, remember we don't have this class on Wednesday. If you need more time, you have to staple it to your test, and you give that to me. Okay? So I hope you have a nice day. Bye-bye.